Distinguished guests, colleagues, and friends, it's my pleasure to join you today, albeit virtually. And I'd like to thank Financial Sector Deepening Kenya, FSD Kenya, and GIZ Germany for convening this vital and timely dialogue. You've gathered here today regulators, development partners, private investors, and business leaders because we all believe in the potential for sustainable finance. Coming out of the recently concluded 4th International Conference on Financing for Development, governments and private sector alike highlighted the criticality of not just financing our future, but financing our future sustainably, with due recognition of the opportunities to drive economic growth and sustainable development in tandem. We talk about green finance and sustainable finance extensively. We talk about the limitations of pilots and the need to scale. But what if green finance offers more than pilots and potential? What if it offers the only viable path forward? Green finance is not just about raising capital, it's about transforming the broken and outdated financial systems and business practices that are holding us back. Globally, we need more than $6 trillion of investment annually by 2030 if we're to avert the worst impacts of climate change and achieve the SDGs. This presents challenges, but also enormous private sector growth opportunities. Green manufacturing, mobility, sustainable agriculture, and renewable energy are fast emerging investment frontiers. If structured responsibly, these sectors can deliver prosperity and resilience for Kenyan businesses, community, and the economy. At the UN Global Compact, our Sustainable Finance Roadmap serves as a strategic framework to mobilize capital at scale, particularly in low and middle-income countries, with a focus on productivity-led investment, infrastructure, and clean energy. We are working alongside businesses and investors to align capital flows, both domestic and international, with sustainable growth in the green energy transition. And we're doing this in 3 ways. First, by encouraging companies to commit to credible sustainability targets and report on their progress transparently. It is important to set ambitious targets and report on them. Companies that do so tell us that this helps them build credibility in regional and global markets while getting ahead of new regulations. Transparency on business activity and investment flows is critical if indeed finance is to flow at scale. Secondly, by mobilizing local or domestic capital. Both domestic and international capital are so critical for financing. In a moment of global turbulence, changing markets, and shrinking ODA, countries' capacities to mobilize finance domestically is critical. We know that there's significant efforts in Kenya that we applaud. Local capital builds confidence in the market, helps de-risk further investments, and provides a strong signal that businesses are trusted partners in sustainable finance. In July, our country chapter, the UN Global Compact Network Kenya, convened investors, development finance institutions, and asset managers to discuss unlocking domestic capital for sustainability. We would be pleased to share those discussion outcomes with you. And finally, we need to strengthen multi-stakeholder collaboration. For green finance to work, we need strong public-private partnerships. We need governments to provide enabling policies, incentives, and environments. We need investors to provide capital. We need development partners to de-risk projects and build capacity. And we need resources, skills, technical support, and innovation from the private sector. Dear friends and colleagues, the UN Global Compact has more than 1,100 participating companies on the African continent, signaling some serious leadership on sustainability to investors, consumers, governments, and other stakeholders. And as we look towards the 2nd Africa Climate Summit in Addis Ababa, we must be able to translate our ambitions to concrete collaborative action. The future that we all want depends on more green projects, moving from concept to financial close to execution. It depends on local capital flowing alongside international investment. It depends on the meaningful inclusion of women, youth, and small businesses. Together, we can chart a new path towards thriving, renewable, regenerative economies in Kenya, in Africa, and worldwide. Thank you so much for joining us for this important conversation.